Hey everyone, Tom here. As you can see behind me, I've shut everything down. That's because today I'm breaking down one of Washington's favorite cliffhangers, U.S. government shutdowns. How many have we had? How long do they last? Is there a pattern here? And of course, what I'm doing about trading that pattern right now. So let's get into it. Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the room, I'm a pattern trader. That means I look for repeatable patterns in the market and try to capitalize on them. You can check out my newsletter and everything else below, or go to patternsandprofits.com. So let's take a look at this week as we enter week 2 of the government shutdown. So typically, a government shutdown occurs when Congress can't agree on funding bills or agencies, and this one's not really any different. All right. What shuts down? Well, non-essential services, national parks, even museums close, and hundreds of thousands of government workers all get furloughed. Now, who still has to work? Well, essential services are still working, like military, air traffic control, Social Security. They keep running, but often they don't get paid until the government reopens. How many shutdowns have happened? Well, since 1976, there's been 21 government shutdowns. Most only last a few days, but there's some notable ones like 1995 and 96. That was 21 days of shutdown under President Clinton. 2013, 16 days shutdown during the Obama administration. That was over affordable health care. And then 2018, 2019, the longest ever was 35 days under President Trump. Looking forward, what happens to the stock market during and after shutdowns? So notably, during the 2013 shutdown, the S&P rose about 3%. During the 95-96 shutdown, it gained about 0.4%, so basically break even. During the 2018-2019 shutdown, that was a 35-day shutdown, we saw the S&P up nearly 11% the month after it ended. Now, on average, the market is volatile during the shutdown, roughly 3% a month after it ends. All right, let me say that again. This is one of those patterns that typically the stock market goes up after the shutdown ends. So it's a little volatile before or during the shutdown. After the shutdown, we tend to go higher. Now, what about an asset like gold? Well, gold tends to do something a little bit different. All right. During the 2013 shutdown, that was that 16-day shutdown, gold actually went up. And then it dipped slightly mid-shutdown, regained its momentum by the end of the shutdown, and then cooled off afterwards. The 2018-2019 shutdown, gold had a modest upside. It increased about $20 during the entire duration, and then it cooled off once again. So what tends to happen with gold is it's one of those buy the shutdown and sell the end of the shutdown, unlike the stock market, which is more of a volatile during shutdown and buy after the shutdown is over. Okay, so what's different about today? That's the important part. Take a look at this first chart. This is the top assets by market cap. Gold is up there at number 1, followed by NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, Alphabet, silver, and Bitcoin rounds out the top 7. Let's take a look at a few of these because a lot of these are hitting or very close to all-time highs. Now, SPY has been up 40% since April 8th. All right, it is hitting all-time highs as we speak. All right, and again, that 40% was after the dip that happened in April, after what I like to call the 2-month inauguration pullback. Price of gold has doubled in the last 2 years. All right, it is definitely pushing that $26 trillion market cap. And, you know, you can see it's that market cap's also doubled in the last 2 years as well. So it's being number 1, there is no real second place because second place is NVIDIA, much, much lower in market cap. Silver, which was number 6, silver and SLV, they're up 62% since the April lows, and it is the 6th most valuable by market cap. Right now, SLV is around ended last week at 43.52. Silver itself is around $48 an ounce. Bitcoin over the weekend hit all-time highs of 125,000 plus. That was on a Saturday night. All right. And all of this while the US dollar has dropped over 10% of its value this year. So, biggest question out there is, what am I doing? How am I trading this? Let's get into it. So, first, for stocks, for gold, for Bitcoin, I'm doing the following. I'm bullish. I'm bullish on these assets. I am also bullish on several stocks out there based on my seasonal patterns. Check out last week's video. You can see more about that. I expect the markets to move higher into year's end and these assets, although they could come with a lot of volatility. But here's the big thing. For the longer term stuff, I am looking to trim positions on any big moves higher. Now, what about option traders? Well, if you're an option trader, then you're not long term. All right, for that, we got to think about these things. Number one, volatility has creeped up in the last month. This is normal. This is normal. The last thing I'd like to see, that I want to see, is volatility going down to new lows. That would make me believe that the turn is coming very soon, right? So that's the first thing. Now, because volatility is higher, options on assets are higher priced as well. So if I want to take a bullish stance, say to the end of the year, on the Dow or the S&P or a stock that's seasonally bullish or gold or Bitcoin, I would want to spread those options and spread that risk as much as possible. So what I'm talking about here is there are other things you could do than simply buy call options. You know, one of the things that I like trading the most when options are a little bit overpriced is call spreads, where you buy a lower strike call, sell a higher strike call. You can do that for much lower cost and risk than you would have if you were buying the asset or if you were buying the call option itself. So the bottom line is this: government shutdowns can be frustrating, costly, and disruptive, but for investors, they're more of noise than they are signal. Typically, it's sell the rumor and buy the news for stocks, and the reverse for hard assets, but this time may be different. Thanks for watching. If you found this useful, like, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment on what you think, and I'll see you on the next one.